back, everybody, to Fly the Coop. I'm so happy to have Carter Brice in the house with me today. Hello, Carter. Woo-woo. Carter's an impressive young man. He has a birthday coming up, everybody, tomorrow.
That's right.
Age number?
20.
Holy cow.
20.
Can you believe that? I keep him infinitely in 18.
That's okay.
Gosh. So Carter is my videographer and podcast manager. And we've yet to have an interview together, which is shocking to
I've
me.
always been right over there, sitting in that chair.
Carter is the son of Tammy Brice, who's a creative and amazing photographer in the Twin Cities. She's brilliant, and I'm sure many of you viewers know who she is. And Carter absolutely followed in his mother's footsteps for sure. So
I did.
You have a great story for your young age. So let's start with the beginning and where you're at now and what you've been doing, because I think at your young age, what you're doing is really impressive and inspiring to those in your age group. So let's just get started.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Well, so I started out really, really young on this side of the camera. I was an actor, as one would say.
He was an actor, a child actor.
Yeah. I don't know how that happened. I think that was all because of my mom. But I did commercials and voiceovers and whatever they kind of throw my way. And that's back when I lived in Iowa. And
he's an editor, so I'm going to make him edit some of his work that he did in this podcast. No kidding, I am.
I'm sure you are. I've got, oh boy,
tons of it.
Yeah, we'll just drop that right now.
Right there. At minute 326.
Minute 326. Notes for myself later.
Yeah.
That was great. It was a lot easier to get work when we lived in Iowa. And so the market there is like, I was a cute little kid, so I could get hired.
So cute.
And then I moved to Minnesota, which is much more competitive right as I hit my awkward years.
Yeah.
And so I wasn't getting a ton of work. And so I kind of stopped doing that for a while. Played a lot of music. I played drums and piano.
Wow. So you're a musician.
Started getting involved at church as my dad was going through seminary to become a pastor. And so I eventually got really just involved on the worship team there, playing almost every single week, doing as much as I possibly could.
Impressive.
And then, as everybody knows, COVID happened. And we needed an online solution for our church service. And that's when I decided to pick up a camera. And my mom has already been doing photos forever, but, well, not forever. She's been doing photos for a long time though.
Yeah.
And it wasn't necessarily because of her, but because she was doing that, it gave me an outlet to be able to do all my video stuff and kind of learn alongside what she's doing. But as far as church goes, that's the first time I picked up a camera. They needed a live stream. We needed to put something together in order to reach people.
Right.
And that's where it all began. I got hooked. Eventually I was able to get my driver's license. A little late. I was 17 when I got my driver's license.
Emily was too. It was a whole COVID thing.
I know. It's like I didn't have any reason to go anywhere. So no
motivation to drive.
Right. It's like, what am I going to do? Go and drive around and just come back home? I can't go anywhere.
No place to go.
So I didn't get my driver's license until I discovered what Facebook Marketplace was. And I saw a camera that I wanted on Marketplace, and I got my license. And the next day I drove like 2 hours one way to Mankato to pick up the camera that I bought. And that's
the beginning.
That's the beginning. Then from that point on, it's just been me trying to pick up whatever work I can, learn as much as I can, do as much as I can.
I mean, when I say work, you guys, this is impressive stuff. Carter is doing serious work right now with videography, big clients, editing work that's comprehensive, which we're going to talk about. We could talk for hours on the workload he's doing. So we'll make sure to post your social platforms on this one.
For sure.
And so you can see his website, because it is powerful stuff, really impressive. And to the point where you, like even myself, are trying to manage time, because it is a time intensive work.
Oh yeah.
And a lot of people are learning about you, and you're trying to juggle all that. So you're going to be a point where you're going to have to employ somebody.
I know. That would be awesome. I'm trying to I'm going to school at
Yeah.
the U right now.
So tell them about that.
I'm at the Carlson School of Management
Mhm.
doing their entrepreneurial management degree.
Mhm.
Um,
And be
and
totally honest with everybody because you weren't a huge proponent to wanting to go to school, but you're driving through the issues and
yep,
pushing through. And a
yep,
lot of young people have that,
yeah. So,
hesitation. So share with them.
well, if anybody here is under in high school age, do and you live in the state of Minnesota, do PSEO. That is the
Mhm.
best advice I can offer to anybody. I did
Explain. They don't
I
know.
PSEO is post-secondary education opportunities. That means that you can do college for free in the high school,
Hmm.
or while you're in your last 2 years of high school. So um, I
Kind of
did,
new or more. It's
yeah,
more, I think
it's
their kids are more aware of it now,
not a
but
lot of people really try and talk about it as much
no.
as it should be talked
Well,
about.
I think that's on purpose.
Yeah, I think so too. I had to kind of fight my way into there. But once I got in the program, which was not difficult to get into,
Mhm.
anybody could probably get into it. You are treated as a university student. So I went to the
Mhm.
University of Northwestern St. Paul, which is a small, private, really expensive Christian university, and I
Mhm.
did it for free
Wow.
for 2 years. And so I was able to gather up 2 years of college for free before I even went to Carlson.
Impressive. Really
So
impressive.
anybody, please do that.
Mhm.
It has totally set me up for success as far as the continuation of my college career.
Mhm. Really, really amazing.
So now I'm at the University of Minnesota with I just completed my freshman year and I will have a year to maybe another semester on top of that left.
Mhm.
Um,
And gritty, you guys. I mean, I see Carter for sure solid once a month, and there were days, trust me, that Carter is like, "Why am I doing this? This is painful."
I know it's
But
I
he's
am not
doing it.
necessarily the best at balancing out all of my obligations. I probably say
Well,
yes to
you're
too
over,
many
yeah,
things.
you're over committed for sure because of your work, which is really impressive for your age.
Summer
Bless
is
your
so
heart.
nice.
Yeah, for everybody.
I love doing video work. I I was teetering back and forth on wanting to get a college degree because I feel like if I really try really hard, I could make this be a full-time thing.
Mhm.
Um, but because I decided to stay in school, um, I have been tapping the brakes, trying not
Mhm.
to I've been trying to calibrate, not go as crazy as I possibly can,
Mhm.
and really just accept work that I care about or I want to do or it pays really well. I have to be more selective. But I'm just really excited for after next year to
Mhm.
just
Go full throttle.
full throttle. That's going to
Mhm.
be so much fun.
Mhm.
Um,
So beyond this commitment you have with me, because you do all the editing for Fly the Coop and help me with these recordings and a little bit with DIY, a
mhm,
little spattering. Share with everybody the other kinds of things you do as an young entrepreneur running your own
mhm.
business and who you're attractive to and how do you balance all that out?
Yeah, so I would say that there are two main categories as far as how I process it in my brain.
Mhm.
And there are the gigs that are more corporate, more business.
Mhm.
They pay well. I'm doing them because I'm hired as a videographer. Like that's what
Mhm.
it is.
And they
I'm
see your work
They see my work.
or hear about
I'm
you.
there to do it as my job. I don't have any sort of emotional attachment to it.
Mhm.
It's not something I would consider a passion project,
Right.
but it's something that I can do and I can do well. And if we are able to agree on timelines and price, then I'll go for it. And there's
Mhm.
like that corporate business money making is the priority there.
Mhm.
And then the other bucket of stuff are the people that have projects that I feel passionate about and really
Mhm.
would like to work on.
Yeah.
Um, and I do the first group, the business stuff, so that I have the capacity to do the second group, which is my passion projects. Because that maybe at some point those two will
Mhm.
collide and
Mhm.
those things can become one. But for
Mhm.
right now, they're kind of split up.
Right.
Um,
Well, they both have their requirement of time.
oh yeah.
There's only 24 hours in the day. We all talk
And then
about
when you
that.
have a passion project going on, you don't want to spend time on the
Yeah.
business. So
Yeah.
it's again, it's just so much balance.
So I want to talk about your true passion project because we're going to share it on this podcast because it's an amazing story and it's an amazing piece of art. and it's just amazing. So why don't you share with everybody what you just launched, where you're at right now with its promotion,
Mhm.
and when it started?
Yeah, so
Mhm.
this dates, I mean, it's over a year ago now is when the
Mhm.
project started. It's a long one. So it's the music video my buddy Chris Eden and I just released. It is called Without a Sound. And
Mhm.
we did it through his recording studio, Force of Nature Studios. And the story, however, the song was written over 10 years ago. And it was written about the loss of a child.
Mhm.
Which was really sad. It's I shouldn't share too much about it because it's really, really personal. But
Mhm.
the story is just amazing. And it is a toll a lot through the song. We'll link it so you can watch it. I would encourage you to watch it.
It's a really
Not
beautiful
just because I
song.
made it. My buddy Chris wrote the song. He recorded all of it. We recorded it all in his basement.
Mhm.
Um, and so we were working on this, thinking about just recording the audio, and then we're like, man, a video would also be really sweet for
Yeah.
this. So I was already a part of the project playing piano. I played piano on it. I played some synthesizers and some other things. Uh, and we were getting the ball rolling with this video idea, and we were thinking about it, and we were like, this could be amazing.
Mhm.
Um,
It is amazing.
and that idea snowballed into a production where there were like 30 plus people on set. We were renting out like a chapel overnight to shoot the main stuff. It was an entire like 8 hour shooting day with more after that. And editing took like 4 months.
Mhm.
It
It's
was
amazing.
just a massive project, but the effect that it's had on people has been just mind blowing.
Mhm. So how
Um,
many followings now on that piece?
yeah, so we uploaded it. See, him and I have never been really good at releasing stuff because I do stuff for other people and they have
Mhm.
marketing people and social media people who take care of it. I'm never the
Mhm.
one that's doing that.
Right.
And I mean, he hasn't we're both social media noobs.
Mhm.
And we like, how are we going to release this? So we built like a little release plan based on what we could find.
Mhm.
Um, and we released it on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, I think on Twitter as well. Um, and we put some money behind boosting it on Facebook as a little bit of an experiment.
Mhm.
Um, and it's up to like 43,000 views.
Isn't that
And
amazing?
the thing is though, it's not 43,000 robot views. There are hundreds of comments and people personally reaching out to Chris about how the song has affected them. There's
Mhm.
like 200 people have shared it on their pages. It's
Yeah. It's
crazy. I
amazing.
mean, it's so cool to see something that you work on like that.
Mhm.
And for that long and that hard to really hit the number of people that we know that like need to see it.
Mhm.
So,
Mhm.
I mean, it's a really emotional song.
Yeah.
It
It's
really is
beautiful
relatable. Um,
to so many.
anybody
Anyone
who's
who's had
gone
a
through
loss.
yeah, anybody who's had a loss, gone through any sort of grief.
Mhm.
Um, I guess I didn't write the song. I just had the opportunity and the privilege to record on it and help hone some of it in.
Mhm.
Um,
Oh,
but
you're a huge piece of it though, Carter.
it really is mind blowing.
It really is crazy. What goes into creating a product like that? You know, when you reverse engineer what's
Yeah.
going on, you take that as an example, everyone. And Carter and I talk about this all the time. What's the sustainability of the workload to create content in the way that social media is requiring right now, based on where things are right now in society? The amount of hours and expense and time that goes into a singular production piece, or the quote unquote requirements of social media to be prevalent, relevant, noticeable, yada, yada. Both of us agree it's not sustainable.
It's
Like, it's
crazy. It's
crazy.
crazy,
I'd love
which
your
is
comments on what you all think about that because it's really interesting to me.
that's why for this without a sound video that we made, um, we put some time into promotions. We wanted to make sure that people were able to, because it was a new Instagram account,
Mhm.
Facebook account, new accounts for everything. So we wanted to make sure that enough people were kind of following by the time we released the video so that
Mhm.
people would see it.
Yeah,
And that was the main goal
that's a
for
lot
our
of work.
promotion. And when we released it, we didn't have a huge following at all. We still really don't. And that's just the game of social media.
Mhm.
But our goal from the beginning was to make it so good and be so happy with it that if we were the only people to see it and our
Yeah.
close friends, that we would still be completely happy with it. And it went, I mean, it went far beyond that. It got
Oh,
tons of views.
gosh,
We
yeah.
entered it into the international songwriting
Isn't
competition.
that cool?
And it actually made into the finalists and became and won as an honorable mention. So it didn't technically win, but it still kind of won.
That's so
There were a lot
fun.
of rounds. It went through it was in the top 1% of the 15 or 17,000 entries or whatever.
Isn't that amazing? Their
And it was
first
for the
piece.
category best folk song. We also entered it in the music video, and it made the semifinals in both the music video category
Interesting.
and the song. And then it moved on to the finals in the song category.
Huh.
And
Yeah,
then
we
it
need to put folk around it, I guess. Would you?
it was the most fitting category. The director of ISC actually reached out to us because we had put it in like alternative or Americana or something.
Uh-huh.
Because that was what we thought fit it better. Because there really just isn't.
It's
It's
hard
not a
one.
song that you could categorize by a genre.
Right. Interesting.
And they reached out and they're like, "Hey, we think you're gonna have a better shot winning this with the folk category." Like the director of the whole thing.
Wow.
Before we even made the semifinals or anything.
Wow.
So
Very
like
cool.
they saw it and they were like,
Wow.
okay, we
It's really
gotta
good.
give this as much of a chance as we possibly can. And I mean, it went up. The judges are like people like Mariah Carey, Coldplay. Like those are the people who are judging the
Wow.
final
Isn't
round of
that
this.
amazing?
So I'm like,
Shivers.
somebody listened to that I played anyway.
That's
It was
awesome.
it was an amazing experience, and it's so cool to have it out now. And we're already working on like 2 other projects in the meantime. That's the sort
really
of stuff
cool.
that definitely recharges me. And is stuff that I really do enjoy working on and seeing. It's so fulfilling to see it come to
Full
fruition
circle.
at the final product, and you
Mhm.
finally are able to play something for somebody, and they're like,
Mhm.
that feeling is just amazing.
I think, I mean, we're just talking out loud here, but I think we should drop you next Thursday since it's your birthday week.
Sure.
And then we need to share this thing. However, Allie handles all that for me.
Yeah.
I'm kind of social media inept, but there's got to be a way. Not only I think is Carter impressive as a role model for young people out there, your dedication, your grit, your tenacity,
I
your
appreciate it.
focus is unbelievable to me. Tammy, his mother, should be very proud.
There isn't a lot of room for error in my household. So I've been raised to be this way. It's awesome.
Yeah, you're so lucky.
Hated
You
it when
really
I
are.
was 10, but I'm just so appreciative now.
Yeah, really, really, really impressive. Just so amazing. So we met, I decided I get, me, I get a burr up my bonnet, and I just came home one day of listening to a podcast with Dan Henry and Sebastian, who owns Podcast Launch Lab, and decided to build this podcast. I just thought, I'm going to do this. And I had Tammy here for Real Producers to do a photo shoot. So that's how I met your mom. She pitched me on you.
Oh, she did.
And so then
She's really good at that. I appreciate
pitches,
it.
yeah. So then I brought Carter in because I wanted to take it a level up and actually, this is the whole point of this is to share one to many stories. This is why we do this. And it's been an absolute privilege kind of watching. We're still very early in the evolution of this, so early. But it's been really fun building this with the lens of Carter behind it, because it's allowing me to be connected to a wide variety of audiences, and getting his perspective and other team members who we've interviewed. It's just really, I think, for anyone who's wondering, it's an important aspect to trying to carry something that's meaningful and has a purpose. And so I've been really grateful for the collab with Carter. And I think that anyone who's exploring anything as it relates to social media or podcast generation, there's Carter and I've talked a lot about this. There's something here. Like there's a component of I've already primed him for like this little company he needs to build. That's the biggest challenge, is replicating ourselves, right?
Yeah.
And we have 24 hours in the day, we have an audience, and then how do we find people that can support our work and you're able to do that with confidence
Mm-hmm.
and know that you're getting the outcome
Mm-hmm.
that you're looking for because you can't do all of the work anymore. That's what's going to happen here with Carter Brice.
We'll see.
Mm-hmm.
The future is scary, but it's also really exciting.
Mm-hmm. So what do you have planned for your birthday weekend?
Not a whole ton, which is a
Great.
gift in itself. I have been able to, now that school's over for the year, I've been
Mm-hmm.
able to take a little bit of a breather and slow down just a tad,
Mm-hmm.
and kind of recalibrate to working more and doing school not at all. So I have a couple extra seconds in the day. And I was able to kind of just, the whole day is just kind of like
Well, you've been
whatever I want
editing
to
a
do.
lot, all
Yeah,
these
a lot of
projects. Yeah, it's
editing.
quite a lot.
I have a lot of editing.
So, work-life balance applies to all ages.
Hmm. Oh yeah,
Um, Carter has a girlfriend, so you
I
have a
do.
relationship and she's been in your life for a long time.
Long time. We're approaching 5 years.
Wow. And
I'm
his young age, that's a long time,
That's a long
everybody.
time. It was before high school.
Mhm.
Before high school.
So for young people out there that have been in relationships already, like you, and I'm sure parents, right? They all have opinions. Let's just
Oh
talk
yeah.
about that. Um, what would your words of wisdom be to people that are young, in college, trying to build a career and in a relationship? What piece of intel do you have for them?
Um this so when we both went to the same high school. And so when we were in high school together, it was really easy because we saw each other every single day at school and then maybe after. Um and so it was really easy to communicate. And we had the same things going on all the time. It was a very cookie cutter schedule. It never changed. It was always the same. My girlfriend, Emilia, really loves schedules. She loves schedules. And I am very flexible.
Mm-hmm.
And
You have to be.
I am not good at schedules. Um, and so naturally, when I started doing college full time for my last 2 years of high school, and she was still at our high school, it presented some communication problems.
Yeah.
Our communication is still being worked on.
Mm-hmm.
And really one of the big things for us is we made and actually are, for the most part, using a shared calendar that we're able to look at. And so when she knows I'm busy, she knows that I'm busy. And when I know she's busy, it's just, we don't even have to talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
And we try to maintain an open line of communication as much as we possibly can. Because
Mm-hmm.
that has been our biggest thing through this entire time, is just navigating how to effectively communicate. Because when we don't, or we do it badly, it causes issues.
That's great advice for any age group. Communication is at the root of everything.
I am the culprit. She's great at communication. I am the one who is dropping off and dropping the ball all the time. So I'm speaking this from a point of something that I need to keep working on. And so that is something has been tough, but it's been really good. I've learned a ton. So yeah, that is definitely my biggest advice, is communicate the best that you possibly can. And the other things it's really nice because a lot of our values, our faith, our morals, all of that stuff is right in line.
In alignment.
So the things that we're arguing about or fighting about aren't they're not things that are going to fundamentally break us. So
I think that's a really important message, Carter, in a world where a lot of people will say, trust, in my opinion, and knowing Carter for the time I've known him and meeting Amelia, being really, really honest with yourself and with each other out there. They're a wonderful couple. And when you see and are aware personally in your life, like you're really rooted and have that gut feeling, it's okay to stay on a path that, even though you might be younger, you got to trust your instincts on that. I think instinctually people don't pay attention to that.
Yeah.
And if you know, and you are in alignment and you meet that person in your life early in life, that is cool. And if you're not in alignment, honoring that as well, which I hear many stories like that, because life is short, everybody. It's not for you right now. You're young, but it is. So I think that's great advice. And that's so cool that you're able to be so aware and insightful at such a young age. I think that's
Yeah.
important.
At our age, it's
Yeah.
really easy to become used to the other person and very dependent,
Yeah.
and rely so much that the fear of losing that person is greater than
The
you actually
practicality. Yeah.
wanting to be with them.
Yeah.
And so that's definitely something that we've really tried to navigate.
Mhm.
I mean, we talk about it all the time. We're like, we don't want to just be together because it's what we're used to and it's
Mhm.
easy. We want it to be something
Yeah.
that is
Very mature.
very intentional in what we want.
Mm.
So that's also really important because I mean, we had these values conversations and these we clicked before we started dating. It wasn't
Yeah.
something that was 2 years in. It was
Right.
we went into it knowing that we're on the same page with a lot of stuff.
Yeah. That's very young. You're very
Um,
mature at a young age.
I know
I see that.
she was 14 and I was 15. We
That's
had no clue what
crazy.
we were doing. We got really lucky. So I'm really happy it's been working out.
Yeah. Congratulations.
I appreciate it.
So, everyone, you've just met Carter Brice. He's the man behind the camera and in front of the camera. Wants to take a look at what we're linking up below. It's such an honor to work with you, Connor.
It happens every once in a while. Anything with a C. Anything with a C.
Scene, there's so
You
many.
can call me anything.
Yeah.
I'll
Carter.
probably
Oh my gosh. And it's my last name on top of it.
I know. We're the same.
So there is confusion sometimes when we're in here because there's two Carters in here.
Oh yeah.
We're just going to be really, really putting out some really fun content together over the next year. We'll definitely have you on again in the fall so we can share
sure.
a little bit about what's going on with the update. Watch the
video.
Watch the
I'm
video.
serious. It's
Oh
not
my
it's not
gosh.
just because I'm a part of it. I
It's
really
beautiful.
really would appreciate it if you watched it.
It's beautiful. Okay, Carter, thank you so much, honey.
Thank you, Cari.
Really appreciate it. Thank you for joining us today, everybody, on Fly the Coop. We will see you next time. Bye.